My name is Forrest, Herbs of the Forest. Today's show, podcast, Why Do Men Have EDD, Erectile Dysfunction? I'm going to try to bring a couple, another herbalist on and another co-host who can explain what she's had to deal with men suffering. Okay, all right. So let's start the show then. Why do men have erectile dysfunction, Todd?
The cause is based on their diet. So this is another degenerative disease, something that you create yourself based on eating improperly, the wrong lifestyle and diet. So the issue is there's a lack of blood flow going to the genital areas to maintain an erection.
Okay, guys. The herbalist is basically just said that y'all don't have no blood going to that main organ. And blood is the lifeline of the body. Would you agree, Mr. Ty?
Yeah, definitely agree. So now there are other factors as well. There could be some psychological factors. There could be some
Okay.
other emotional issues that can cause you to have this problem too. But the physical reason is usually a blockage of or a lack of ability to engorge that area with enough blood to hold an erection.
I got to agree with you too because I've had some physical. I mean, there's times I've been really stressed about money and then my organ just wouldn't work. And, you know, I, 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 I didn't blame the female, but I'll be honest with you. When I was stressing money, my organ shut down. That's a psychological or stress issue. Would you agree?
Yeah, that is.
So guys, there's more than one way. But now I have customers that, as a herbalist, I have customers that call me that want to fix this problem. And the way I, lead them to fixing this problem is the first thing I tell them to do is, you know, if you're going to a doctor already, get some type of CT scan, get some type of scan to where they can take a look at all your blood vessels or your arteries, because, like you said earlier, if the blood is not flowing through properly, you're not going to have an erection no matter how you play it. And I had a guy call me the other day. He says, I did exactly what you said. And he said that the test came back and it showed that one side of my body, the right side of his testicle area, was flowing fine. He said, but the left side was blocked. They said it was inflammation and that the blood wasn't going through like it was supposed to. Now, I'll tell you later on what I used to help him, what I gave him to help this. And I've seen significant, you know, uh, 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 change in blood flow to that area. Okay. Miss Jazz, how you doing today?
Move back, move back.
I can hear you now. Okay. Now when Miss Jazz get ready, I'm gonna ask her to share a story because I think her story is one of those stories that can help men. Ladies, if you have a man and his phallus is partially hard, not getting hard, there is no blood flow. There's a trickle. You know, I think, Miss Jazz is just one of the women in the world who is suffering right now, but who is fixing that problem. And I've asked her to share her story. Okay, so that other men and women, so we can stop this unnecessary suffering. What you say, Mr. Todd?
You know what? It's a lot of stress involved with this, and I think one of the main things people need to understand that it's a mutual problem. So, for example, a lot of women they get frustrated because the situation is happening, but they don't realize that they have participated in the problem by feeding the person the wrong diet. So if you're
Mhm.
feeding someone like a high starch diet, lots of fat, greasy foods, then you're expecting them to be able to perform in the bedroom. Over time, this diet can restrict the ability to for the man to have an erection because he can't get the blood flow going down there correctly.
Do you agree with him, Miss Jazz? Do you agree with what the herbalist is saying?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, good. That's what I was worried about. You couldn't hear me. Good morning. So I definitely agree. And I am one that is. I've been really dealing with this, say, 27 years and counting. So I am guilty of the feeding the crap to him, and he's guilty of eating the crap. Also, so
Okay.
let us clear that one up.
Okay.
So, but basically, before I call it, before we were ignorant, unlearned, whatever you want to, whatever pretty words you want to
Very
say,
good. Very good.
uh, we didn't know. We were just doing what the in doing and believing what we were taught, what we had learned, what the white coat syndrome, the doctors say. We were doing those things, and we were eating all the crap, the chips, the drinks, the sodas, the all of that crap. So that went on for like years, like lot years, just doing foolishness until it had gotten personal with me, um, in the bedroom. And uh, sidebar, I'm very whatever in there. So that was a thing. That was oh, I'm real. I'm sorry, y'all. Ready for this?
Okay. No, no,
I'm
no. Be real.
I'm real. It was like that was like my go to. My bedroom is my go to, and still my go to. It was my go to, and will be my go to. But um, when we faced that, and on top of that, he was diagnosed with diabetes. So that was a factor too. But before all of that happened, he was like drinking like a case of sodas would last him maybe 3 days, maybe. So he was doing the sugar, he was doing the fried foods, we were doing it all. Like I had a supply enough sugar and snacks in my cabinet for the whole neighborhood. Like
Mm.
the whole neighborhood literally just totally ignorant, just totally ignorant. So and this went on for years until he almost passed out one day getting out of his vehicle going to work. And I didn't know what was happening. He didn't know what was happening. So
Okay, stop.
that's
Okay, stop right there. Stop right there. We're gonna reflect a little bit because
okay.
I want people to
I'm sorry, I'm
understand.
full. I'm
No, no,
full.
no. That's okay. We're gonna empty you out today. I want enough people to understand if this is what's happening to you, there's a clear reason why, as the herbalist said, Mr. Todd said, your diet is part of this. What do you say so far, Mr. Todd, to what she's basically saying to us?
Well, you know what? This is a problem that it's very important to get to the root cause of the problem, not try to use the quick fix. So the
Right.
quick fix is to use something like Viagra or some Cialis and force the erection. Now the
Wow.
problem with that is when you start using things like that, you have side effects. If you listen to the commercial from these different drugs, they'll tell you that you can experience blindness, loss of hearing. You know, everybody likes sex, but I don't think anybody wants to risk their vision
No, it
to
ain't that
participate
serious.
in, some recreational sex. Now, I may risk my vision for some procreational sex, but I'm not going to risk
No,
it for
no, no,
recreational
no.
sex.
Okay,
I ain't
hold up, hold
losing
up,
nothing.
hold
I
up,
ain't
hold
losing
up,
nothing.
hold up, Mr.
Mm-mm.
Todd. I gotta hear this part again. You said
I ain't losing nothing. It ain't nothing. That's no. Mm-mm.
okay, so
No,
recreational sex and
no,
procreational sex
no, no.
and
Neither one.
Viagra. Go ahead, Mr. Todd.
They tell you they tell you that you hear the side effects. They say it real
Yes.
fast. And see, I don't want people to be walking around like Ray
Stupid.
Charles, squeezing people's wrists because they can't see anymore to
Exactly.
see if there's someone they want to be
I'm
attracted
sorry.
to.
Nor feel what they squeezing.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, this is, you know what? We now, okay, okay. First of all, this show, we're gonna laugh. I
Yeah.
don't care. We
Yeah.
gonna laugh. Here's why we gonna laugh. See, we as herbalists, we know that there's a solution, and if you are offended, this show might not be for you. But if
No.
you'll listen long enough,
Going back to
you're
bed.
gonna you're gonna get something out of this. You're gonna get a solution, because we are going to talk about the cause more than anything. Right now, we know a lot of people suffering from this. We do know
Yeah.
that.
And it's
But you
real.
don't have to. Okay, Miss Jazz, give us a short version of your story from start to finish, as far as how long you've been dealing with this.
Oh
What are
wow.
you doing now to fix it? And how is that working for you right now? And be as transparent as you want to be. Go for it.
Okay. I don't know about short, but we talking 27 plus years. So I don't know how short I can do it for you, but I will try. You
So you
know?
said you've been suffering for this for 27 years?
Yeah, 27 years. And yeah. And
That's a
27
long
years.
time, Miss
Yeah.
Jazz.
Yeah, it's yeah, it's a long time.
Okay,
And
so okay, so
and I'm
okay,
still
so
suffering.
oh geez. Okay, so Ladies and gentlemen, if you've been suffering for 27 years, Miss Jazz, I'm sorry. This is this is the kind of stuff that mess with you mentally,
Yeah,
psychologically, emotionally, and physically.
yeah.
Now, okay, Miss Jazz, tell us your story.
Okay, so it's been happening for, I've been living it for, I would say, at least 27 years up to today,
Okay.
currently. So and that's being, and of course I'm married. So I've not stepped out. I ain't say I ain't thought about it. I say I have not in
Mhm.
Okay, stop.
27 years
Stop. You
plus.
ain't you haven't gone and got you some.
No, no, I didn't say I
Stop.
ain't want.
Stop.
I,
Oh,
s- I ain't say I ain't want none. I
just
ain't say
stop.
I
But you know
ain't.
what?
Nope. But
You
Go
know
ahead,
what,
Todd.
Forrest?
Uh-huh.
That's commendable because that's a major reason why women do step out when the situation
yeah,
happens
exactly.
because
Yeah.
the frustration and
Todd,
because there's no solution, it leads
27
you to
years?
yeah. But what happens is the man the man even he may be able to still function, but because his confidence is
No, honey.
gone,
No, ain't
it's
no
it,
function. Wasn't no
what I'm
function.
saying his confidence can go too because now it's
All
not
of it
like
was
he's
gone. All of it was
right.
gone. All of it was gone. Function, thinking, talking, feeling. All of it gone. Nothing,
Yeah.
I'm
nada.
sorry.
Out of
I'm
here.
sorry.
I'm
And
sorry.
see,
I'm
but
so
here's the
sorry.
problem: women are more health conscious, and what happens with guys when stuff goes wrong, they don't talk about it. This is
Right.
not a topic that guys talk about with each other.
Right.
So
At
they
all.
just roll with the problem till the wheels roll off, and then they're
Mm-hmm.
completely broken, and they say, well, you know what, I
Mm-hmm.
just give up. You know,
Right.
they sit on the sidewalk and say, watch women go by like, woo. Back in my younger days, I could have, but they can't do nothing now because they've
Exactly.
let the situation get
Okay.
so bad that it's a problem.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay, Miss Jazz. Go ahead. Continue.
So like I said, 27 plus years to current time, and uh, I haven't, like I said, I haven't stepped out. I haven't done. I haven't even, well, I've thought about it, but it has not happened in 27 years, and it I'm just
Wow.
I'm just that type. I don't think that that's an answer. That's not an
Wow.
answer for me.
That's
It
commendable, by the way. I
as
want you to
as
know.
thank you. As painful as it is, and when I say painful, I mean it makes me feel unworthy, useless, worthless. Like, am I attractive? Can I excite any man? Can I excite anybody? Myself. It's just
Right.
mental.
Uh,
It bothers you. It affects you in every
okay,
area.
okay, okay. Stop right there. Stop right there. Stop right there. Now, let's skip forward. Okay,
Okay.
you have suffered. You and a lot of women on the planet have suffered for 27 years, but you have been loyal. You have been
Yeah.
righteous. You have been honest.
Right.
Now, at this stage, at the 27th year stage,
And that's a
what have you
choice to
done?
do that. That's a choice to be that way. That's a
But
ch- that that's a
what have you done at this point for your relationship to hang on, to hang in there after 27 years? What are you doing now?
so basically, when we got the word from the white coat syndrome, that's what I call a doctor. So get over it.
Okay,
That's what it is.
okay.
So once we got the diagnosis from the white coat syndrome, he's like, she was like, she wanted to put him on metformin, with the shots and the pills and all this crap. I'm like, no, thank you. You just keep that. Hold on to that for a while. It's still at Walgreens. So I I then started looking, online for natural stuff because I'm one that I don't like chemicals because I just don't. I like natural stuff. So I started searching and searching for natural things to do, and up pop you, And I thought, okay, first of all, this dude on there screaming and carrying on because I watched one of his casts, and like this dude is on here screaming and cat. Why it ain't that serious? Why? I mean, it was serious. You was serious. You was like screaming. You do this, you do that, and I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. So at first it kind of like turned me off because I'm like, okay, this fool crazy. So, but then you start saying stuff, you start saying stuff that made sense, and that turned the light on. So I'm like, okay, I started listening behind the screaming and stuff because you was very passionate with it. Is what I learned. But I'm like, this clown is crazy. He just screaming, and I mean, okay, we got the volume up, we can hear you. Stop it. But you started making sense. So I called, and you actually picked up the phone, and the things that you said just resonated in my spirit. It just all just came together, and it all made sense. It just turned the light on. So I tried the cleanse first. This is the good part. I tried the cleanse. We went raw, and I thought, okay, when you told me I had to go raw, I'm like, okay, what is raw other than? Because first of all, I'm still ignorant, right? Well, unlearned. Let's say unlearned, because that offends some people. It don't offend
Right.
me. You ignorant, you don't know, you just ignorant, you don't know.
Okay.
So I said, raw. I mean, what can you eat raw other than lettuce? I ain't no daggum rabbit. I don't. So and at the time, if I ate lettuce, it would like give me indigestion, and I would had reflux, and I was just all messed up. So I thought, okay, I had had enough of this. It's either do or die. We gonna do this or we not. Either you gonna do this, or and I'm the type, I'm dogmatic. Either we gonna do it or we not. Choose, no in between. So we decided we gonna do it. Either we gonna do it or I'm gonna walk. And he didn't want me to walk, so he decided to do it. So we went raw, and we got the cleanse, and we done the cleanse. The first day was kind of rough because we like pork chops, bacon, chicken, all the injected animals, poor animals. We were frying them, sauteing them, boiling them,
Okay.
grilling them. We were doing all that. So I after I said, don't, you can't do, don't cut the meat out. I'm like, dude, I'm a black woman. We like meat, and we like it fried. So I'm like, okay. So I said, okay, we tired. We went with us because things happening, but I didn't tell him that was happening. It was like everything was over with down there. So I'm
Right.
like, okay, so we just gonna do the cleanse. So I played nice, and I ordered both of us a cleanse because I felt like, okay, both of us need to do it. So we did the cleanse, and I kid you not, the first day was pure OD hell. I mean, I wanted chicken, I wanted pork chop, all that same meal.
So
So
your
I said,
cravings. So your
they,
cravings kicked in.
yes, big time. The sugar, the meat, everything kicked in. So I'm like, okay, we can't do this. So I had to throw all the stuff out, and then to get it out the house, because as long as it's in the house, we was gonna cook it.
Right.
So I threw it out, and I said, okay, we bought all lettuce and greens and all that. So we did juicing and all of that. And I kid you not, the second day on this cleanse, I called you, and I told him, I said, I can, you can look out the window and see the sky is blue.
Right.
And it's like, but you can see it, but you don't see it. And I
Right.
thought, dang, and I heard the birds, everything was clear. I had brain fog. But after the second day of starting this clean, I started hearing the birds. The sky was bluer. The grass was. It was just amazing. It freaks me out now, but it was amazing. I could really hear everything was just cleared up, just clear. And after the fifth day out, I had it down. It was a way of life for me after the fifth day. I was like
Wow.
all in, because I had inflammation, I had weight issues, I had all of it and still have it, but I'm better. I'm better because I chose this to be a way of life, not
Okay.
just
Okay.
a 21-day thing.
So you basically, because of the suffering, you basically just let go and say, you know what?
Yeah, because I
I
was
might as
tired of
well
being
eat.
tired. I was tired
Right.
of being tired. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah, and I wanted to live. I wanted to live.
Mm.
Oh, wow. Okay, Todd. Todd. So far, what do you think?
So I love her story. That's a great
Thank you.
testimony. And the thing she's talking about as far as going raw and doing herbs to try to fix the problem. This is where you're getting to the root cause of the problem. So I think what people want to know is like, what kind of herbs can I use? Because the cleanse is not specifically for fixing erectile dysfunction, but it
Right.
does it removes the toxicity of the body. And what we're talking about is our complete body detox kit that's on the
Yeah,
website. But then there's certain herbs that you can use that are specifically for that erectile dysfunction.
that was
And
just a
I would
start
say
for
like
me.
horny goat weed, yohimbe,
That
tongue
stuff is,
leaf,
yes.
damiana, tribulus. If there's an issue with your prostate gland, which is causing you to have erection problems, there's going to be saw palmetto berry. There's a bunch of different herbs that you can use to, to address this problem. But like we said before, the problem may not just be physical. It may be emotional, it may be
Mm-hmm.
psychological, it may be guilt related. It could be a lot of things that can be causing this. But the
All of it.
physical part can be fixed by the herbs. However, the emotional stress and other things, these have to be corrected
Right.
also.
So what
Right.
do you suggest? What do you suggest for correcting stuff like that? Now I know we have herbs for that, by the way. I
Right.
won't say them
Yeah.
right now because we're focused
Huh.
on something else.
Yeah.
Oh, and she can testify that
Yes.
too, but we're not gonna go
Yeah.
there. We're
Okay.
not gonna go there because I'm discovering some of the value of some of the herbs we have and what they do, which has blown my mind. So what do you say, Todd, to the physical, to the mental side of all this, the stressful side of all
Well, the first thing is to acknowledge that there's a stressful situation or what's causing these emotional issues, and you want to
Right.
address that first.
right,
And then once you acknowledge it, then you can address it. So
right,
if it's stress, then you might need to release some of the stress in your life. You know, it could be financial problems could be causing it. So
That's
you
what
want
my
to figure
problem
out
was.
what's
Financial
causing
problem.
these
Right.
issues.
Okay. Okay, Miss Jazz. Okay, now you've done the cleanse. You did
right,
one or two of the cleanses,
right.
and you didn't get the results you want, but at
Not the
least
first time.
you started the process. What
Right.
happened after the first cleanse?
Mostly for me, it was like I got clarity. You're like I could see things and hear things, and I was dealing with stress because I was trying to juggle three lives: mine, my husband, and our 17-year-old.
Okay.
So I figured everybody in the house had to be doing the same thing. So that was stressful because you got a 17-year-old like I don't want that. That don't look right. So I'm like, my thing was with that, you either gonna eat this and do this, or you're gonna starve to death, buddy, because you don't have a job, you can't buy no groceries. So this what this is what you're gonna eat. So I started off like that, but I kind of way back because he's a kid.
Right.
So I
Mhm.
started doing things like cauliflower. He loved pizza, so I did cauliflower crust. I did the portobello mushrooms, and I seasoned it up in the jackfruit, all that. He did. He thought he was eating meat because it looked like meat. So I didn't tell him no better. So I just fixed it up so it would look like the things that he's accustomed to eating, and so now he's on board with eating what
So
I
you
cook.
so you made fruits and vegetables look like
Meat.
something that they weren't,
Yeah.
and your ability to change the taste made him
Yeah.
think he was eating something that he was eating. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now
Yeah.
that's clever, God. By the way,
Yeah.
Todd, that's real clever, right? That I
That's
mean,
real clever.
that's
Yeah.
good. Okay. Okay. What happened after that?
So then I started him on the herbs because he had constipation. So I started him on the herbs too, and now that's corrected. He's now having normal stools, normal size stools too. The constipation has stopped, and his energy level is up, and my energy level is up, and my husband's energy level is up, except for like the dysfunction part
Okay.
that has gotten tremendously better.
What did you do
Tre-
to make that better?
we started with the cleanse with him. The first one with him, it just really basically just did the clarity for him too. So we had to do another one because the it seemed like it was working, but it seemed like it stopped or whatever. So
Right.
we just did another one.
It
And then,
plateaued. It
yeah,
plateaued.
yeah.
Okay.
And then he started feeling better. He stopped being droopy and dragging it in the mornings. He would get up with energy. His little friend still was like on vacation, but no, he was up. I, he
Okay. So
I'm
so
saying he
okay.
was
So
up
so his
mentally.
body cleaned up,
Yeah,
but his phallus
yeah.
did not wake
Di-
up.
no, at all. He wasn't interested in that nothing I was doing, nothing at all.
What did you do? I mean, how'd you feel at this point though?
I I felt like a total failure. I was depressed. I was angry most of all. Um, I didn't know which way to go. I didn't know what to do, know what to think, and it just kind of drug me down to a point where I just wanted to quit. But then I thought, okay, quit is not in me, so I have to do something else.
So what did you
So
do?
so that's when I started doing all the different herbs and giving him, all pop, making him pop the herbs like candy.
Okay.
And so we started doing that for about a year. Well, it was about 4 or 5 months. We started doing it, and he was getting still like clogged up. So I asked his doctor, and she's like, "Well, it's part of the diabetes," and I refused to believe that.
Okay.
I didn't believe that, so that wasn't good enough for me. So I started looking on the website for the different herbs for circulation because his hand and feet were cold. So I figured circulation, blood, it needs
Very good.
cleaning, it needs to move. So I got all the ones that I for circulation and for cleaning the blood and cleaning the liver, and I did the lungs and the pancreas, all that to try to clean, and that kind of helped. That started to help too. But as we did that, we still wasn't getting no movement in the bedroom,
Right.
and I thought, okay, um, I didn't know what to do then, so I just kept on. I didn't know what to do other than to keep on doing the way we were eating and taking the herbs, and I just been doing that every since then until we found something different that you told me not to talk about. right now.
Yeah, don't talk about that. Don't talk about that. Don't talk
Right?
about that. Okay, so let's step forward to, has anything worked so far yet? Anything?
uh, yeah, that you told me not to talk about.
Okay, okay. Are we talking about the herbs? The herbs?
Yes, we talking about the herbs.
Okay, so let's tell them about what actually worked. How about that?
Okay, okay. So I did my regular order one day, and and as far as the mental state
Right.
of mine, that was more important because I had to be on top to help myself and to help them. So I was suffering with like anxiety, depression, and all of that. And I forgot the name of the one I got, but it had ashwagandha in it, and I
Okay.
can't do ashwagandha.
Okay.
So I had to figure out another one, and that brought us to the I forgot the name of it.
Nerves or veins?
Yeah, the nerves and magnesium. I tried the
Okay.
nerves and the magnesium. I tried the magnesium first, and that would last like maybe 2 hours, 3 hours. It
Okay.
would like just put me like in mill. I still wanted to snatch a hair off,
Okay.
but with that, so I thought, okay.
Okay.
So I did my regular order with you, and somehow we were talking, we were brainstorming, trying to do things, and we got the order mixed up, and the nerve came instead of the
The
one that
vein.
yeah. So I'm like, okay, we gonna keep this because I tried it. I had taken it like a day before, and I didn't go back over it because I was just so excited. So I just took it, and I noticed the next morning I got up, I was rested. I felt like I had been asleep. He was knocked out. Everybody was happy. Everything was lovely. You know. So I thought, okay, so we gonna do this again. So the second night, I took it. I gave him some. He was like gone, like out, like good night, see you tomorrow, like just like that. So I'm
Okay.
like, okay, so I'm gonna jack his up to two, so that's making him rest. So I just, popped him two that night in the magnesium, and he slept, and he was like vibrant and more had energy and stuff. And I was too. I'm like, okay, wait. And then I looked at him like, okay, we ordered something for circulation and like, this ain't if I know ain't nothing in there about circulation. What the what? So I called you, and I'm like, okay, so this calmed me down because I didn't want to snatch nobody hair out. I wasn't throwing no boilers in the morning, cooking breakfast. I wasn't doing none of that. And
Okay.
I'm like, it just had me mellow, and I couldn't believe it. I'm like, oh wow, okay, we're gonna keep this. That was a good mistake. That was a good mistake. So I went and I researched it, and I'm like, okay, the vein is. And no, you said let me call Todd, and Todd told you that about the vein. Said that this would do open, clean up the
The
plaque
blood
out
vessels.
of,
Yes.
yeah. So I'm like, okay, so you probably need to put this on in the mail. So you put it in the mail, and I got it, and I took it, and I kid you not, the first day he took it, it was like, and when I tell you this, I laugh and joke about this, but this is very painful and personal to me. It's almost tear jerking to me.
Right.
But it was like it was like zero, no visibility. You had to like get down there and look for it. Like where the hell, where are you? That kind of thing. I'm serious. Where are that?
Okay.
So
Okay.
the first day I gave him the vein formula, it like resonated, just like, hey, what, hello? And I'm
It
like,
woke. It woke
it,
up.
yeah, it just got up. I'm like, do you see this? He's like, yeah, I've been trying to show you. Look. I'm like, it's on you, dude. It's on you. You saw it first. Did you like he like so the second day we took it, and it's like on and then I'm like, I jacked it up to like instead of 1 to 3, because I'm sensitive. I can only do like one here and one there in
Right.
the hour. But he can just pop them 3 and 4 at a time. So
Right.
I'm like, okay, when I saw that, I'm like, okay, we doing 5 for breakfast, 5 for lunch, 5 for dinner, and 3 for supper, then snack.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I jacked him up to, and I kid you not, he's been on that vein about 7, almost 8 days now, and we have liftoff, like total liftoff, total stand
It
up.
got up. It woke up.
Yeah, the second day we saw movement. Second day.
So
Okay.
see,
Stop right there. Go ahead, Todd. Go ahead, Todd.
well, that lets you know that it was an issue with like the veins being and arteries being blocked with plaque. That's what
Yeah,
that means. And see, what people don't realize is that it took you 20, 30 years to get
yeah,
yourself messed up. So
yeah.
it's not gonna be like an overnight thing where you're gonna be like, I take a one capsule and tomorrow I'm fixed.
Oh, but that's
So
heaven to me. What's happening now? 7 days is
right.
heaven to
But
me.
but it usually most people see some results within 30 days.
Mm-hmm.
So, but she saw the
I
results
saw it.
from the vein
Yeah,
within
early.
how many days?
It was like seven. We've only had like 7 to 8 days.
And you're talking about a 30, you're talking about a 27-year problem.
Yeah,
It got up in 7 days. Now I'm going to contribute the cleanse,
it got up
all
in
the
two
different
days.
herbs that he's doing. I have to give them some kind of credit because the body is a package deal. The body
Yeah,
is not an individual process. It is a package process. When one thing goes wrong, multiple that's because multiple things have already gone wrong.
yeah,
If you eat bad for that long, you got to expect time to heal.
yeah,
So, okay, so now we're taking the veins. We got lift off.
yeah.
Obviously you're a little bit happier.
Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm
Now,
getting there.
so now we got to work on his staying power, correct?
Yeah, yeah. That's the issue. Yeah,
Okay, so
that's
how long is he lasting now? Because he's probably over. I know he's overly excited because he got lift off. How long
yeah.
do you think that's happening now?
Probably I would say about. It all depends. It all. I'm gonna let y'all have. I ain't gonna let y'all. Y'all ain't ready for that one. But
Okay,
so I would say about a minute. I would say about a minute.
okay, Todd.
About a minute.
Now it's staying right for a minute.
Not totally, but enough to to
To mount.
invite itself.
Okay,
Okay, that was hard.
okay,
That was a hard
okay,
one. Now,
okay. So now basically we have blood flow.
yeah,
We
yeah.
don't have 100%, but we do have blood flow now.
Blood
The
flow and
sal-
thickness. Blood
okay,
flow
now
and thickness.
that means the arteries are being
Mm-hmm.
cleaned out now.
Mm-hmm.
When they're completely clean,
Oh,
th- here's what happens when they're completely clean.
yes,
It
sir.
becomes a real hammer.
Mhm.
That's the ability of the phallus when the blood is flowing right, because that's the number one thing that makes it hard. Would you agree, Todd?
Right, right.
Yeah, that's definitely agree.
Okay, so now the vein formula, she did all the cleanses, she got to the vein formula, and she sees improvement without medication.
Right,
She got lift off without medication.
right.
So
And we're constantly eating right too. We haven't
Hmm.
gone deviated back to the junk. That's important too.
what should she do at this point, Todd, Mr. Herbalist?
So now I would probably still. So now that we have some type of results, we
Hmm.
want to work on his stamina. So that
Yeah.
would be some type of aphrodisiac herbs like the horny goat weed, the
Oh,
tongue lily. I would add those in there.
yes. Yeah.
Damiana,
Yes.
Super Dave.
tribulus.
That's what my next approach was to her.
Yes.
Okay, Miss Jazz,
Yes.
you got lift off. It can only get
Yes.
better from here now
Yes. We
because we're
coming on in the
just
room.
okay.
I
Okay,
got
just don't stop. Don't
okay.
stop the vein formula because once I mean, come on, he's
Yeah.
60 something, right?
67.
Okay, so now we got 67 years of plaque
Yeah.
minus the year or two that you've been working on it. So
Right.
we still 65 strong.
Yeah.
Todd,
Yeah.
how long it take to get clear out 65 years of doo-doo?
Wow.
It depends on the person, but I can't really give an exact date time. But I mean, she's doing the right. They're doing the right thing. So the fact that he's got progress lets you know that everything
Yeah.
can be corrected.
Yes. Yes.
You know, it's
Yes.
these are issues that are unique to man. You
Right.
don't see like kangaroos hopping around popping pills. They don't have these type of problems like we do because
Right.
they're eating the diet that's prescribed for them. Only man is eating cooked foods. Everything
Right.
else on the planet is eating raw. Even animals that are carnivores are eating raw. They're not cooking foods.
Right.
See, that's what the problem is. A lot of it's how we're processing the foods and we're
Right.
eating things that are not technically food. And over
Right.
decades of doing this, your body tries to keep it going, but after so much time, it gives up. It gives out. You know,
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, Miss Jazz, I got to thank you for being here today. So I don't
Oh,
want
you're
to
welcome.
take this thing any longer than what it is. Todd, what's our next show going to be about? Because I want to keep this going for people. We have a desire to help people. And the only way I know to help people is to do what we're doing. But, what's our next topic going to be about, Todd?
you know what? I haven't thought about that yet.
How
I mean,
about
I think
ED
we should.
two?
Say that again.
How about ED two?
ED2?
Yeah.
Okay, ED2 then. I'm going to
Yeah.
write this down.
Yeah.
Our next show is going to about ED, EDD2.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So we're going to continue with this segment.
Yeah.
Because obviously Miss Jazz wants y'all to know something, and who
Yeah.
better to tell y'all than someone who's been dealing with this for 27 years,
Yeah.
who has changed her diet, her family's diet, but who is working on repairing her man instead
Exactly.
of what she called the white coat syndrome, instead of relying on doctors to do something
Right.
that the body will do itself. Because
Right.
there's only one doctor in this room, guys.
Right.
It's your body.
Right.
So stay tuned for the next show. We do this on Saturday. We do this podcast on Saturdays at 10:30. Come in, ask your questions, and enjoy the show and share this with somebody who that might be suffering. Women
Amen.
suffer more than the man do
Yeah.
because it makes
Yes.
them go do something that they wouldn't ordinarily do, like cheat.
Right.
Right. And that can
Right.
lead to
Okay.
people getting hurt.
Right.
Cheating can lead to
Exactly.
somebody getting physically or emotionally or physically hurt. So yeah.
Yes. A lot of
Okay.
stuff.
So I want to thank y'all both, my other herbalists and my
Been my
guest,
pleasure.
Miss
My
Jazz. You
pleasure.
coming back? You
My
coming back
pleasure. Oh yeah,
Saturday,
definitely. Most definitely.
10:30. Todd, I'll see you Saturday 10:30.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening. And subscribe, share, reach out to us, www.herbsoftheforest.com, 888-619-4372, and give us a call. Thanks for listening, guys. Until next time. Peace.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.